Hello Taurus, it's Yvonne here from the Aussie Goddess, here to do your reading for December. Thank you so much for subscribing. I hate that word. Subscribing to my channel. I'm in a different room. It looks different, doesn't it? I'm in my office at the moment, so it looks quite different, but I'm trying to set myself up so I can use a proper camera. I'll get there. As I was saying, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, I would love to have you on board. And you know, if the readings don't resonate, you can move on, or before you go, just check out other aspects of your natal chart. Wow, the cards are really lively for you here. I'm using the After Tarot by Julia Massaglia. So I tried to find a couple of tarot decks that weren't too shiny in this bedroom light. But anyway, we'll see how we go. Beautiful. Okay. Moving ahead, Taurus. Moving out towards the horizon. Waiting for your ships to come in. Something is happening for you here. You sense something coming. Because you're waiting. I can see the ships there, but they're just a bit further away. But you're waiting on something. What are you waiting for? Someone to come back from the past? This card is talking about you looking back at the past far too much. You're living in the past. You need to turn around and face the future. There's love for you in the future here. 2 cups. But you're so busy looking back at all the mess here that you're missing out on something from the future. Okay, so this card, the 4 of Swords, talks about taking time out to have a rest. It's implying that you're tired at the moment. And no wonder, if you're standing around looking back at the past and waiting for your ships to come in, maybe you haven't given yourself enough time to rest. And this talks about taking time out to have a good rest. Stop the thoughts in your head, quieten your mind. Okay, because you're coming to the end of a cycle here. So this is the cycle of repetitive behaviour. Doing cycles, going round and round. Keep visiting the same thing. And it's about to come to an end. You're about to have a realisation here. Okay, now you've got a wish coming true. So you're on your way to get a wish here. It's coming out of some closing of a cycle. So we'll do a recap shortly. Okay, so you've had conflict in the past. Now you won at something, but it was an empty victory. So you might have stood up for something you believed in and you went against someone else and now you're standing alone. So I always think with this particular card, it's about winning the battle but losing the war. Sometimes we do things where we feel really vindicated by the fact that we've stuck up for something we've believed in and we've lost people as a result. But at the end of the day, was it really worth it? Okay, so now you have a decision here to make. This is the balancing of heart, head over heart decision. This is no longer about emotion. You have to leave the emotions behind here and you have to make a decision based in logic, not in your emotion. Because look at the conflict going on in your head. This can be external conflict too, but this is about, I'll do a quick recap. This is about mental conflict. It looks to me like you're waiting for something to come back to you. I feel like it's something from the past here. And I feel like somehow or another you've done a lot of thinking about this because it's made you very tired constantly thinking. But what I can say to you is you're closing out a cycle here. So whatever you've been through in the past is about to come to some sort of end because your wish is coming true here. That's a good thing. I feel like somehow or another you may have had some conflict with someone in the past and you spoke up, you did what you needed to do, but in doing that you pushed people away. And now you're standing, you've won, you've got your sword held high, you've had a victory, but nobody's there to celebrate with you. Now there's some sort of decision that needs to be made here, and you're going backwards and forwards on this decision. The Seven of Wands here tells me that you're really stuck in your head about this. You're like you're thinking about it. The Seven of Wands talks about defending yourself. So it's like you defended yourself here, but you need to put this right now. There needs to be put right. Okay, that's very interesting. Alrighty, it's karma. You're dealing with karma here. You're dealing with a karmic situation. The thing is, at the end of the day, your wish is to come out at the end of it. The wish card's here. So whatever you want from this, it will happen. It's just not really sure that it's going to happen the way you want it to. Because there's a truth here you need to speak. There's something you need to admit to. You've won at the expense of someone else. And you're coming out here as this Seven of Swords, which talks about like thievery, deceit. And you've won something. But did you do it dishonestly? Or maybe not dishonestly. Maybe you did it not realizing you were being dishonest to yourself, maybe. But now you've got to make some sort of decision here because there's an apology needed here. There's an apology needed to balance the karma. Hooly dooly. So you have to walk away from what you think was the right thing to do. So you've done something that you thought was right at the time, but you've realized now maybe it wasn't right. You may have believed it was right, but I don't think you do now. I think you've realized you've done the wrong thing because you're coming in to make an apology here. I do like that you've got the card here, though. This talks about putting karma right, so that's really important. But definitely putting something right here. Okay, let's get you an oracle card. Very straightforward reading for December. Something that you're walking towards that you want to put straight. It's nice that you've recognised that you need to put wrongs right. The card that's come out is the card of Thorns, and it talks about weathering the challenges ahead to bring in a new and positive future. So this is what exactly matches this reading exactly, because you are having to, it's caused you so much hurt and pain here, what you've done, that you have to go back and put it right. Otherwise you're just suffering. I'm sure that whoever that you've done this to has suffered too, but at the end of the day, it's a karmic situation. It had to happen. But what you've done is when you've done what you've done, whatever that happened to be, somehow or another, you've imbalanced what was supposed to be. You've put an imbalance in, and now you've got to put it right. Now, don't forget, Taurus, these things flip-flop too. So this could be the other person and not you. And if that's the case, just flip it around. If it's the case, someone else is coming back to you to make an apology for something they did wrong to put right. But it is you here with this wish card and this closing out of a cycle. That's all yours. And definitely the karma here is yours. So good luck, Taurus. Have a great Christmas.